Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela. So last night, I tried to film my latest deck interview 2 different times on my phone, and for some reason it kept shutting off. Excuse me. So I figured out that it was just my phone was full, so I had to go through and get rid of some stuff. But I was going to come out here and film it this morning, and I came out and it was raining all morning. It's just now, it is almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It is just now starting to go away, but there's still clouds. So there's no sun directly on me. I mean, it's still up there, and I may have to pause it to get my sunglasses because it's cloud and there's bugs flying around. Just cloudy enough that it's not directly on me, but there's still breaks in the clouds where there's bright light right overhead. So it's just not on me. But I did do a deck interview with my Native American tarot because I was curious to see what it would have to say, because does vary quite a bit from a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It is published by Los Scarabero. You can see here, it comes with a little white book, several languages, but the information in here is just fantastic. It's by Laura Twan and artwork by Sergio Tiselli, at the bottom here. And it is a lovely, lovely, lovely deck. I said as I did my walkthrough the other day, these are the backs. Just beautiful. I said as I did my walkthrough the other day, it feels very spiritual to me. It's very, it talks about the Kiowa Indian tribes, and I've had history with that. If you watch the walkthrough of this deck, you'll know why. If you watched any of my information videos on the young Indian girl, you'll know why. And then this is a deck that reminds me that manifestation is a real thing. Ask and you shall receive, because I was looking for a Native American deck that was a tarot deck, and I have looked and looked and looked and haven't been able to find any. And then all of a sudden, this deck showed up, and I was like, what is happening? So it again reminded me that manifestation is real. It is a real thing. It's just be careful what you wish for, because it may very well come true. So I did pull from, and I got to pull it up on my phone. I have it here. Oh my gosh, I don't even have the picture of it on this phone. It's on my old phone, my other phone. Hold on. The one thing I did not think to look up. Deck interview. Spread. I may have saved it. I got it off Pinterest. I don't know where it is now. It was like hot pink. I swear I saved it, but I don't see it anywhere. It's crazy. Now I'm like, what? I can't find it. Oh my gosh, I cannot find this anywhere. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. I had to go get my other phone, my old phone, and find the image on it. Still don't know if it is on here. Okay, this is deck interview for new tarot decks, and there's 6 questions. One is describe yourself, the deck. 2 is what type of reading are you best suited for. 3, what are your strengths. 4, what are your weaknesses. 5, how can we work best together. And 6, a message you would like to give me. So I did this, like I said, I pulled this and did it all last night. Went through it twice. And for some reason, my phone kept shutting off at the very end of it. So I decided to go ahead and do it today. And then it's been raining all day. So today's my first chance to get to do this. So for the first card, I pulled for describe yourself, the 8 of chalices, the 8 of cups. And normally I would see this as letting go, walking away, and that letting go of control is what I'm getting out of this. And the fact that it is for describing yourself, the deck is makes sense to me because I'm one of those people that's all about keeping in control of everything at all times. If being a Virgo, and I blame it on being a Virgo, um, being a Virgo, though, there's this element of need to, like, almost a compulsive need to be in control of everything around me. And when there's one fly in the ointment or one thing that doesn't go right, everything else falls apart. And I feel that this deck is saying, I'm that person that's going to show you how to let go, how to learn to loosen the reins, let the control go, because sometimes you can't control everything. And I love that that is the first card to this spread for this deck. So then we got, what type of reading are you best suited for? And I drew the Three of Chalices. And traditionally, I don't see this as a Three of Cups. I see it as, again, confirming that. And again, like here, there's a storm going on. The bird is trying to get out of it. There's a loss of control here. And it says, what type of reading are you best suited for? And to me, it's the things that are that you think may be a loss of control, or even, with cups being emotions, a loss of emotions. This is the type of deck that digs down and finds the root of those emotions and why you're having these emotions. And it really brings it to the surface and helps heal it. And I love that. I love that so much, because that's what I need in my life. I've spent the last almost 2 years trying to have that, the same words, letting go, stop being so in control, show your emotions, has been just reiterated over and over and over and time again, to the point where I'm at now at the latter half of 2021, after hearing it for almost 2 years. It's like, well, how do I do that? I know I need to do that now, but it's now at the point where it's like, how do I do that? Show me how to actually do that, because I don't have any clue how to do that. So that's interesting that those two were the first two cards that came out of the spread. And number 3, what are your strengths? I got the Knave of Swords. And it's a coyote. Or I thought wolf, but as I was reading it last night, it was coyote. And to me, a knave or a page has always been someone young, someone inexperienced, someone it's on the cusp of manhood or adulthood. With this, though, I get the sense that it's a different era. It's a different time. Kids from a very young age knew how to hunt, knew how to fish. Not just because it was a sport or fun. It was for survival. They had to learn these things or they wouldn't survive. And I feel that strongly with this card is, I may be young, but don't underestimate the wisdom and the knowledge I've accumulated. I may be naive in certain ways, but in this particular way, I'm not. And I love that. Love that. So number 4, what are your weaknesses? And I got the Wheel of Fortune. And I love this wheel. It's very, it's actually the medicine wheel in the book. The medicine wheel. And I always feel like this card is more for me than for the deck. My weakness is not being able to see what's good for me. Like if there's a fork in the road and there's 2 paths, I always take this one thinking, oh, it's the better path, it's easier, and it may not be the appropriate path. And to me, that's when the Wheel of Fortune steps in and is like, no, we're going to set you right. And it may be hard redirecting myself. And a lot of people think the Wheel of Fortune is, oh, it's fate, it's written in the stars, it's nothing we can do about it. But I think there is. I think there's signs that show, hey, this is probably not the best road to take. You should probably think about the other road, even though it's much harder. In the end, you're going to have a more satisfying ending. And so I think that's more for me than the deck itself is, you need to learn to trust your intuition, trust your instincts, trust that the wheel will still turn back into your favor. So yeah, that's that one. And then number 5, how can we best work together? And I drew the Nine of Swords. And as I said last night, the Nine of Swords is normally about nightmares. And this one seems to be a more of a Three of Pentacles vibe to me. It's all about community and working together. And even here, it doesn't look like, yeah, that looks like a nightmarish bird. But to me, it looks like a phoenix rising from the ashes. You're not over yet. You're not done. Your story has yet to be written. And I love that. Love that. It's this give and take, this working as a team with this deck, to show that you're not done yet. And I love that. So then we have the last card, a message you would like to give me. The message the deck wants to give me. And of course, I drew the Tower card. And to me, this Tower card, if you look closely, the Tower looks to be intact, which is new for me. There looks like a guard here, standing guard. There looks like there's even this statue, almost looks like a guard here. And there's a little tiny house or something up there. You do see a couple people, looks like they're falling. But what I'm more interested in this card when I pulled it over is the 2 people at the bottom wearing masks. And to me, the Tower isn't always, this is what brought this card is what made me think this way. Because the Tower is intact. Its foundations are there. But you can also have a Tower moment with who you've surrounded yourself with. Someone could be betraying you. Someone could be not honest with you of who they are. And that's why they're wearing the mask here. So that could be your Tower moment. So it isn't necessarily the building, the structure itself. It could be those around the Tower that you've surrounded yourself with, thinking that they're one way and they're not. And I find that very interesting because that is quite often how my life is. Quite often. So that was quite interesting. So I found that very cool and different. And I'm going to read you guys. Oh my gosh, the sun is popping out. I might have to grab my sunglasses. It is really coming out now. Clouds are starting to part. So we have the 3 of Chalices here. I couldn't get through these last night. So for the first question, describe yourself. And I drew the 3 of, I drew the 8 of Chalices. I mixed them up. The 8 of Chalices. Owl. Symbol of enlightenment and the ability to penetrate obscurity. It indicates to souls the road to the underworld that is called the land of the setting sun. Beautiful. The ability to penetrate obscurity. I love that. That's quite fitting to me for this spread. 2, what type of reading are you best suited for? And I drew the 3 of Chalices. And it says here, Crow, the divine trickster, responsible for creation, able to free the sun, moon, and the stars with the force of his knowledge. And I love that. Love that. Because quite often we see the trickster, and I've talked about a trickster recently. I had in a dream. Trickster is someone that likes to play pranks, someone that's kind of a full energy, I would think. But we often see, kind of like in comedies, and I got told this a long time ago, in comedies where somebody just acts so over the top, idiotic or moronic. And my mom used to say, well, they're probably getting paid more for acting that way because they're so good at it. And so that's how I kind of see this card with this trickster in this card is you're underestimating their knowledge, their ability to be smarter than, I don't know if I'm coming across right with it, but you're underestimating that, yes, maybe they're a trickster, but they're also very smart to be a trickster, if that makes sense. And that's the way I see that. His tongue is the lightning, and with the flap of its wings, it strikes up the wind. I love that. Love that. And then number 3, what are your strengths? And I drew the Knave of Swords. Knave of Swords. And they are all completely reworded in here or renamed. It says swords and then it says whatever it is next to it, which this is coyote. The messenger that brings the prayers of man to the gods and brings man the fire that it took from the Great Spirit through trickery and astuteness. And see, again, that trickery and astuteness are kind of going hand in hand. What are your strengths? So I see that is the messenger that brings prayers of man to the gods and brings man the fire that it took from the Great Spirit through trickery and astuteness. I love that. And then what is your... Was that the weakness? Yeah, what are your weaknesses? The wheel. It's still cloudy up there. Okay, the wheel. The 12 sectors of the wheel, the 7 arrows, the 7 stars, and the guardians of the 4 directions. The world is a sacred geometric figure, and the number is its representation. Beautiful. And then we have the 9 of Swords for how can we work best together. And there's a moving truck next door that just pulled in. How can we work best together? 9 of Swords. How can we work best together? Bird of thunder and fire. Tied to the rain and fertility, the thunderbird forcibly flaps its wings to produce the rumble. Its favor is gained through offerings of tobacco. So there is this give and take there, more so like the 3 of Pentacles versus the 9 of Swords, where you're giving as much as you're putting into this deck. And I love that. It's going to make you work for it. And number 6, a message you would like to give me. And I got the Tower. Message you would like to give me. The Tower. The Tower, the Tower, the Tower. Where are you? The Tower. The Kachinas, spirits of invisible life forces, help the gods maintain the cosmic order and transport the desires of men upward, staging pranks and punishing the wicked as well. Pranks again. Wow, that's 3 times the trickster has come up in this spread. That's interesting. But I do see it more so in this spread, in this card than any other, where there's this trickster vibe of don't be fooled by those deceiving you, that could deceive you around you. I find that quite interesting. It's beautiful. Beautiful. So, yeah, that was my tarot spread for last night. And I was going to go ahead and pull a oracle card from the Halloween Oracle for you guys, just to get a little added bonus. See what we get from this. And the clouds came back. It's been cold last 2 days. It started raining today. And as soon as it started raining, it warmed up. It makes no sense. It's been like 40s last couple days, which we are not used to. So what further information can we get on the spread? And we got the spider. Ooh, the spider. And these are the bags. Everybody's seen this deck though. Community and web weaving. Are you freaking kidding me? I was just talking about that the next to last card about community. It's a sense of community with this deck, that we're all in this together. So I love that. Let's see what the book says. Numbers spider. They're in order, so spider. She spins her silk alone in the dark with hope of collection, sticky with dreams, weaving the world's wide web of connection. Masses of sticky spider web make any Halloween decoration complete. The idea of a haunted house covered in the artwork of a big hairy spider is classic horror. Even those of us who appreciate our 8-legged friends still hurriedly brush off those stealthy webs if we run into them in the dark. Although most spiders are not venomous, humans have an innate fear of them. Perhaps it's the fangs or the poison. Perhaps it's all those legs and the way they move. Perhaps it's where they live, often in dark, hidden places. Or the way our Western popular culture has demonized them by making them giant Fierce and man-eating. Some cultures, though, revere the spider in very positive ways. In many Native American traditions, for example, the spider is the creature that gives birth to all other animals and sustains the web of life. I love that. Love it. The goddess spider grandmother, and there is also a spider woman, is a key deity that brings wisdom, safety, and communication to all the tribes. I'm getting goosebumps. That's crazy. She created and wove all the stars in the sky and makes soft webs for those that are troubled to rest upon and be supported by. Spider's web can be seen as a symbol of connection, not necessarily entrapment. It's a raindrop right on me. There's a fine line sometimes between a family or community supporting us and controlling us. This card looks at this discernment. It also suggests you review the way you communicate with the wider community, at work, or generally with others, and take steps to improve this or do it slightly differently. It also indicates that there needs to be a balance between what you do for yourself and what you do for others. Wow. Called out with this one card, and it goes so well with the spread. That's crazy. If we give too much to the outside, our strength diminishes and we cannot weave the supporting web for ourselves. That's beautiful. Beautiful. And who knew? In a little Halloween deck. Beautiful. So, yeah, that is my interview with which I love that interview, Native American Tarot. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. The card went so well with it. That's crazy. So, anyway, because I just had a bunch of raindrops on me. I know there's no trees around, so I don't know if it rained again for a split second or if it's going to rain again. I'm going to try to do my week ahead spread for you guys. Anyway, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And you guys have a great night. Bye.